to take walks and connect with the moon and get in my power.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about the moon and you taking walks, and we were speaking about you grounding your energy through the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you ever go on that walk to go see the moon?
I went on the walk. I did not make it to look at the moon, but I almost did.
Okay, so you made it halfway?
I walked towards the ocean and I stopped at my friend's apartment. He's an 83-year-old friend of mine.
Your friend, his name is Mike?
Yeah, he's 83.
Okay. Wow, older guy.
Yeah. And I actually told him, I said, I should go now and go to the ocean and go see the moon. I told him. But I have a really hard time with leading a conversation. I struggle with all these decisions. So
Right.
I told him, but anyway, I could try again. I could keep working at it until I get it.
Yeah. Right. So what do you like when hold on, I'm trying to rephrase it. When you see a full moon, how does that feel? What kind of energy does it bring up?
Well, I just know that I'm a double Cancer. I know that moon is a Cancer thing,
Yeah, I'm a double Cancer as well, so that's why.
Yeah, our birthdays are like 2 days apart or something, right?
Yeah.
And also, I know that the color for the power color for July is like that cream color of the moon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That ivory color. So I look so amazing in that color, and I also feel so incredible in that color. When I wear like this all cream or ivory outfit, I just feel so illuminated and like a queen, and I feel like I'm priceless and precious and feminine, and I deserve to be treated well, and it just reminds me of self-care, and basically self-care, like, is so important.
Right. Oh, that's
nourishing, being nourishing.
Right, that's deep. That's really deep. I was thinking, like, the moon itself, it changes consciousness for people. It's something about it, like, the water in the body. I think we talked about this a lot, how humans have so much water in their body, and the moon has a gravitational effect on humans, because it affects all bodies of water, not just in humans, but rivers, lakes, oceans. Do you think people are more prone to, like, strange activity, or are prone to something different within them, like their activity changes?
Well,
on a full moon.
Just when I heard you speak, I had like this wonderful experience when you were talking. I was thinking, oh my God, the moon sitting with the moon will change your consciousness. I mean, oh my God, I gotta rush. I have to run out there and see the moon. What am I thinking? Instead of going to making these meetings so important, that I go to these support groups.
Yeah.
I gotta run out to that fucking moon every day. Like, that's my program. That's where I'm gonna get conscious. That's where I'm gonna heal. Just fucking sit there and let the moon heal me. I mean, and I could just feel that kind of energy when you said it.
Right.
I could feel that healing consciousness, brightness start to, like, waking up, So, but your question was a completely different question.
Yeah, it kind of was different, but, see, the thing about the moon is it's used in so many different ways. And even gardening, like there's books about moon magic gardening and stuff. You know how people have always used the moon to grow crops and whatnot, but there's people who use the moon for almost anything, and it's just really it's fascinating to me because the moon is one of the first things you see once you learn about the sky. First, you see the sun, you know, in the day, then you see the moon at night, and it's there for people's whole lives. And they don't have much relationship with it. They just see it and it's there, but they never really ask questions about it. But, you know, it's a very phenomenal thing, and it affects many different people in many different ways. It affects nature in many different ways, and it has a deep, deep, deep relationship with, you know, spiritually, you know, the soul of people. And it's just fascinating to me to hear you talk about it because most people wouldn't think twice about it. They see the moon every day, but it never crosses their mind to ask any questions about it. So it's just really interesting to see, you know, how you feel affected by it.
Well, yeah, just listening to you, I'm thinking, oh my God, you said relationship. Oh my God, right. We're not even aware that we're missing out on this great relationship with the moon. We're missing out on this deep, deep, great spiritual thing. And there must be documentaries about this. And just to expose myself to this information you were just saying about, I remember I had a boyfriend once who spoke about moon bathing, and I was 23, and I remember then going, oh my God, I resonate. You know I need to do that.
Wow, what's moon moon bathing? What's that?
Just like when you sunbathe,
Uh huh.
you know, you
Just laying out. Okay.
the light that you receive from the sun.
Right.
Like the light you receive.
Right, but do people like go out there in lawn chairs and stuff with like a radio and all that, or is it?
Well, I don't know. He just said the term, and I was like, you know, it resonated. I remember when I heard it.
Right.
Oh, that's for me. That's the kind of thing. Of course, you know, I'm a moon person. Of course I am. And I remember also when I was growing up, a woman had a moon crescent moon jewelry and stuff, and you know, she was the kind of person that I wish, yeah, I wish I knew how to talk and bond with her. You know, I wish I could have said, you know, I want you to tell me more about the moon. Because,
Right.
yeah, there's a cry for it. I just never could really speak up and articulate myself. I was just kind of lost in the longing and wishing people would talk to me and pay attention to me. So,
Right.
The color, I've always wanted like an all-white house and an all-white car. I've always had this fantasy of having everything in that color, that ivory color or cream.
Right. Right. So what did you mean when you said you wanted people to listen and pay attention? You weren't specifically meaning just like about talking about the moon. You were just meaning overall in general, the moon makes you.
Well, I was waiting for people to reach out to me and look at me and connect with me and say, "Angel, sweetheart," and like, you know, put their hands on my shoulders and just like really recognize me and see how beautiful I am and intelligent and like take me by the hand and say, you know, what would you like to do, you know? But nobody ever did that. They were just caught up in their own survival, smoking pot and having sex with other people and, you know, their survival coping things.
That's deep. That's deep. So you're saying you're having you're having your experience. You're there. You're around all these people, and you're wanting a more in-depth spiritual relationship for, you know, somebody to speak to you and get to know you, appreciate the stuff going on around you. But because of everyday life, people aren't able, for whatever reason, to do that. They're more preoccupied with, you know, the here and now, what's going on, you know, smoking, drinking, watching TV, radio. It's not they're not going a little bit deeper for you, so to speak. I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to, I'm not a woman, so it's hard for me to. I'm trying to visualize what it'd be from your perspective, because usually guys are the ones who go for the women, but you're saying you're waiting for the guy to come talk to you, and they are talking to you, but they're not doing it in depth. It's not spiritual enough.
No, I was talking about this woman when I was like my mom. I was waiting for a woman to, a sister or a mom to.
Oh, right.
As a child, I was longing for my mom to connect with me, to look at me and say, "Wow, honey, I love you. You're so precious. Like, you see what an angel is." And, I didn't get any of that. She wasn't available. My mom shared her husband with another woman, not by choice, but my dad just brought home another woman.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That was interesting. You were saying your dad brought another woman to himself, and then brought her into the home, and then he had two women in the house, and you were raised like that, at least partly.
Right. Yeah, since I was 2.
Wow.
And so I knew. Yeah, so I knew how much in survival my mom was. If she could allow this to happen, she's not going to be able to mother me. But I still thought, if I'm good, if I'm helpful, and I just am patient, she's going to eventually want to come and sit down with me and be my mother and connect with me and talk with me. But she was always busy, and she stays busy. She's that active person. Just activity is how she copes.
Right. That's deep. How did you explain? Did you have a way of explaining that to other people around you?
When?
Didn't you have friends come over, or different types of people you interacted with, and they would notice that your father had 2 wives or 2 women in the setting? Or was it sort of like hidden?
No, very isolated. I lived in a small town of 600 people.
Okay.
We didn't even live in town. We lived 1 mile from town, so we lived on a small farm.
Right.
And basically, my dad smoked pot all the time, and people that came over smoked pot with him. So they were the kind of people who were like, "Hey, Denny has 2 old ladies," just to me.
Right.
To me, I was like this angel, this really spiritual, bright, spiritual being, and born in this nasty, nastiness. I mean, like the woman that he brought home, she tattooed onto her butt, it says "property of Dennis Olafson."
Oh, are you serious? You're for real? For real?
I grew up seeing that. She and I used to shower together outside because it was really hot. We worked in the fields and stuff, and sometimes we would shower outside because we only had 1 bathroom. And I looked at this nasty ass of hers and this nasty tattoo, and it's just, that's my nasty childhood. I mean, so there's many other stories, but yeah, that's my childhood right there. So it's just so disgusting, and nobody's paying attention to me at all. I'm just living there and thinking, oh my God, I had some comfort with my grandmother and my great aunt. I would visit with them, and it wasn't really talked about ever. But they, I got some, because they, like children, how they dote on a child. When I was younger, I got some love from them.
Oh, that's deep.
But nobody ever put their arm around me and said, "Oh my God, honey, what you must be going through, with this dad and this mom and this situation that you live." Nobody ever acknowledged it, ever. was just like being born and going, whoa, this is the world I was born into, and I know I'm this spiritual person and everything, but why the fuck am I here in Iowa? Jesus Christ. So I did a lot of overeating and sleeping when junior high and high school happened. I started eating a lot. But I had already been eating since I was 4, but I actually gained weight at that time. And then life became really massively hard to the point that I started to think about suicide. But I said, no, just get out of this childhood. Once you're an adult, you'll be fine. When I left home, I was a nanny, and I struggled to do this really easy nanny job because I was overeating and I would get sleepy, and a couple of times I actually fell asleep on the job, and I was threatened to be fired each time. So I was scared. How am I going to survive? And that's when I saw a therapist, and he said, what do you want? And I said, well, if you're asking me what I really want, I would like to find someone who could take care of me, because I can't survive this way. I can't take care of myself. So I've had a few jobs, but for the most part, I've been like a kept woman all my adult life, where I'm just sort of in my room and it's all messy because I'm still waiting for my mother to come and take me by the hand and parent me and say, here I am to mother you and love you, show you how to go through life. I mean, I have cleaned my room, but it's where I'm wounded. It's where I feel so...
Wow, that's deep. So whatever happened to you in your past, it's still there. Like, it's still deeply affecting you in the present. The things
every day of my life, I'm always like, when am I ever going to clean my room? That's my thing. Like, I just sit in my bed pretty much all day unless I'm in a conversation with somebody out in the world or downstairs. I just, like, I don't know. Should I describe to you what I'm looking at in my room right now? This is a mess. Like, it looks so horrible. It looks like a bachelor, like a guy who just throws his clothes on the floor and, like, toilet paper rolls are just laying on the floor. I mean, it just does not look like who I am at all. I know I'm, like, this lovely, elegant, feminine woman. I live like some bachelor guy who just does nothing to care for himself.
Wow, that's deep.
I'm 45 years old. I'm just...
Right.
I don't have much furniture. I'm just kind of living like this. The same way I lived when I first left home. It's just like this adolescent. I'm just not ready to take responsibility for them, adult self.
Let me ask you this. On a scale from 1 to 10, how greatly do you think that these things that happened within your childhood, like, affect you from doing the things that you want to do now? Because it seems like when you go to do the things you want to do now, it's almost painful because those past things, something in the past is coming up within you when you go to do them. It doesn't look like it's the tasks themselves. I don't think it has anything to do with your room or you going outside walking. It seems like there's something emotional there that creeps up and is somehow painful. Is that it?
Yeah, and I've been aware of it.
Right.
I've always been aware of it. It's just the pain that my mother was never there to take me by the hand. She never did that. I just waiting my whole life for her to take me by the hand and say, here, honey, here's how you clean your room. Mommy's going to show you this. And that's what I'm waiting.
Right.
Or for her to spend time with me and hug me and
Right. Yeah. I mean, all you wanted was what was already supposed to be there. What was basic.
But of course, I knew she never had that in her mother either, and I'm sure, you know, all the ancestry before, everyone was just surviving.
Now, are you angry? Are you angry about it, or just sad about it?
It's the longing. When is she gonna show up? When is she ever, like, it's still a fantasy that she's going to, like, break out of this thing that she does and just go up, you know, I'm so sorry, honey, I haven't seen you my whole life, I never paid attention to you, and, you know, like a tearful thing, and be like, you know, I know in reality it's never going to happen, but I still fantasize about it.
Right. Right. Now, okay, so when you go to places, like when you go out, when you were walking to the moon, to the beach, to experience the moon and all that stuff, is that something that came up? Did you think about that stuff at all, or it was just the emotion that came up, or did any of it come up?
Can I share something just from my own, on my own?
Yeah.
Away from the question. You know, I'm very inspired being on the phone call with you right now, and that other time I called when I told you that I was singing at the cafe, and you were like, wow, you're so brave, and I knew when I was talking to you that day that this is really good for me, this is really inspiring, these phone calls with you, and I need to just make you my people, and I need to make this a priority, my calling you. I mean, like the moon, I need this inspiration.
Right.
So what I want to say is like just this. I hate to use this analogy because but it just I always kind of go back to it because it's easy. It's like this is being sober for me to talk to you the way we are.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I was longing for some other guy to call me today,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in the same painful thing like with my mom. Like he's this really active person who he said he was going to call me in an hour, but he didn't, and then he called me like just a little while ago and said to call him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the fence. Like to call him or to call you. And I knew that I should make you a priority and ditch him because I know it's toxic with him because he's treating me just like my mom. You know, it just puts me off. He cares about like my mom, but you know, he's the same coping person with activity. Like he just has to stay in activity all the time. And he even admitted that he's a runner. And my girlfriend that I had the same pain with for 16 years was the same thing. Was constantly longing for her to call me. And she was always making new friends. And it was always about these new people. And I was always longing to be important to her.
What was it? The guy with the dog?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The dog. Yeah.
How?
I had stayed away from him for 2 weeks, and I broke down and called him today. And he told me his battery's about to die, and he would call me in an hour. And he didn't, and I was devastated, and I was thinking about overeating, and I'm like, no. And I was able to get online, and I saw this lifecode.com that said, click on this to read about 10 ways you can make this a great new year. And it said, one of the 10 things it said is to cut
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I struggle.
sometimes.
And I struggled to make that decision to click on that link, but when I did, I knew it was like a higher power opportunity, and the same when I talk to you, it's like a higher power. It's a lift. It's lifting me out of that toxic, longing, painful, unhappy, suffering little girl hoping mommy's going to show up.
That's deep. That's deep. Sometimes you got to, you know what? The strange thing is sometimes when you like cut people out, like it sometimes is the best thing for them too.
Yeah, it's just not working. We're you know, he needs someone who maybe is a runner like him and understands activity. You know.
Man, that was kind of tripped out what you said about that dog. How he was using the dog to be the surrogate wife. He was using the dog to be the surrogate wife.
Yeah, lots of people do that.
He was using the dog to be the wife. That, like, but can you explain that a little bit though? Why would he have the need to do that though? Like, from your perception, what's he tripping over?
Well, I mean, literally what happened is here I was on the phone with him, like longing for him to say, I love you or something goo-goo gaga like that. Because we were just talking, you know, as two people talking, wasn't being romantic or anything like that, but I'm desperately hoping to hear that. And then all of a sudden I hear it go, oh baby, goo-goo, like that, you know? And he's talking to his dog.
That's the crazy part, though.
Here I am, but I'm a female in his life, like this really, like he's not even that attractive. I'm like really good looking, and I'm spiritual, and I'm telling him all these things. He told me that I am the most interesting person he's ever talked to in his life, and I am longing for him to be romantic and say loving things to me. And his dog comes in to the room, I guess, in that moment. He just completely abandoned talking to me and started talking to the dog in that way. And he literally then said this phrase. He goes, this is my wife. He said those words. And he
That's crazy. That is tripped out.
Like here I am, desperate for him to talk to me that way. He starts talking that way, and at first I'm like, is he talking to me? And then when I realize it's his dog, he's going, oh baby, oh baby. You know how people talk to their dogs, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, for sure.
He was talking to her as if it was, I mean, that's why I was confused at first. I thought he was talking to me romantically, maybe. But it seemed out of character because he wasn't anywhere near talking to me that way. I was only hoping he was going to talk to me that way. And then he said, this is my wife. He said that to me, this is my wife.
Man, that trips me out though, because to see a man have a dog and to be calling the dog his wife, I guess I can see it in a playful, joking way. I guess, especially for a guy, he's kind of like, I'm not gonna say he's older, but he's some years further than I am, so maybe he had more time to create a closer companionship, with the dog. If I don't know how it works. But it just tripped out though. Like he's serious about it.
No, I am saying he's serious. He would laugh it off as a joke, as you're saying, but it is serious.
It's subconscious. It's psychological. It's some deep stuff.
People like there are people who have surrogate acquaintances that they get their affection from, and they don't get it from their wife.
Mm-hmm.
With this guy that I've had a crush on at church, he adores me. He embraces me the way I wished my mom would have. He sees me. He touches my cheeks. This it's like I just fall in love. I want him so badly because he's giving me that treatment I've wanted my whole life. But he's married, and I could tell that he's not getting that from his wife when I see him interact with her. I could tell that that's what I'm a surrogate for him.
Right.
And he's a surrogate for me, and I actually try to avoid him because it's so painful just to get these little crumbs from him and not a full-on relationship. And I want to say no to crumbs. I want the full relationship.
Right. Have you spoken to him about, is he into the sort of like I'll say the esoteric type stuff, like?
Yes, very much. That's why I'm so crazy about him, because we speak exactly the same. You know, he went to the same church that I go to here, the same self-realization church, and exactly that's why I'm so intense.
Right.
Because we share that very much.
Man, that's cool. It's cool that he's open-minded and he has those deep perspectives, but it's kind of tripped out the way he was acting, though. You know what I mean? Like, if he had put that to the side a little bit, you know, it would have been a lot smoother, I guess.
It's insane. He wants a woman, but he's clearly insane. Here he has a woman available to him. He'd rather pet this dog, refer to this dog as his wife, in the middle of a conversation with me, and then say I have to go because he's got to go do all these social activities. He's crazy. He is out of his mind. If he's chasing out, he wants a woman and he doesn't see how he has one. He's completely ignoring her and he has just dropped me. He said he would call me. This is not the first time he said he would call me and then didn't.
Right. Hey, let me ask you this. So let me ask you about this concept, if I can, for a second. What do you think about human beings and the different personalities that we have and the way we react to stuff being connected to ET genetics, from ancient genetic experiments going back to Lemurian Atlantis, and there being several different types of humans, different races, different way we look, all the way to the Aboriginals, you know, in Australia, all this stuff. You know, people who have fairer skin coming from Europe, Asiatic people, you know, American Indian looking people, all these people on Earth having roots back to genetic interference from extraterrestrials on a more primal species that existed before modern humans were created. Do you think there's something to that, the ET genetics, and that humans are affected differently? The way we behave, the way we interact with each other, those ET genetics have a play on that?
That's why I want to have these phone calls with you. I don't know anything about this stuff. I want to hear you share all of it. That's so exciting to me. That information just turns me on. My brain, I am tuned in. I'm interested. Big time. It's so fascinating. I mean, that's why I keep saying, what documentaries I want to get my mind blown on this, and all this other stuff will mean nothing to me. You know? This is so fascinating to me. This blows the roof off of my mind. I can't wait. What documentary can I watch this about? I want to hear this 2 hours a day. It's just like
there's a lot of different people who do documentaries on it, but like just Google Nephilim or Google, you know, Anunnaki or extraterrestrials. I think there's a book called the guy, what's it called? Something about Eden, Garden of Eden. I forget the name of the book, but it's basically about the genetic. What's the name of that book? Is it The Gods of Eden or something like that? I can't remember, but
just share with me. Just tell me all the stuff find is interesting. Share. I'm writing a list of it all.
Right. Well, okay. First of all, a lot of the evidence of extraterrestrials and all this stuff has been found over and over and over again by groups like the Smithsonian Institute and a lot of other groups. They found all kinds of artifacts. There's all sorts of ancient excavations. Excavations done of ancient sites throughout the Americas, throughout Africa, places around the world, where there's been more than enough evidence. There's been paintings on cave walls, temples constructed. Even modern scientists now don't know how they got there, how they were constructed. Nobody can really figure it out. It's like a mystery, with the pyramids under the ocean, all this stuff. And it's obvious that there was something here beyond humans. The further far back you go, the more sophisticated the civilizations get. Modern people think, the further we go into the future, the more sophisticated. That's not true. The more thousands of years you go back, the more and more sophisticated it gets. And there's something that happened. There was extraterrestrials here already building sites, building temples, building these cities. They created humans to do work for them. There was like a Bigfoot, Sasquatch type creature that existed originally. They took this creature, mixed their genes with the creature, started creating modern humans. The Sasquatch Bigfoot creature naturally evolved over like millions of years or billions of years. That was a natural creature. Some of them were used in these genetic experiments to create modern man by the extraterrestrials that were already on Earth. They mixed their DNA with this creature, created man for mining purposes. The first genetic tests that were done in southern Africa. And they're now going back and they're finding all sorts of ancient gold mines in southern Africa. Just like thousands of years old. They're finding batteries and types of things that go back millions of years, which shows that there was intelligent life already here even before the creation of humans. But after they created the humans were going around and they had to find ways to civilize the humans. They wanted to create civilizations for humans. So these Nephilim, these gods, so to speak, they brought humans into the cities. The humans think they built cities. In the mind of modern man thinks he constructed law, he constructed religion, he created all this. He didn't create it all, he inherited it. He's an inheritor of it, he's not the creator of it. And so modern man is not the founder, they're just the preservers of this ancient stuff. And so modern man was brought into the cities to live, and the gods, so to speak, who run it, they're the ones who are watching over man and interacting with man and teaching man all these things, teaching man these sciences, teaching man the religions, law, astrology, numerology, the principles of the universe. That's why they're finding these ancient texts that are showing pictures of the solar system, of outer space stuff humans. In modern days, humans didn't start discovering this stuff in the last 100 years. Somebody was teaching humans about this many thousands of years ago. So we have the genetics of these extraterrestrial groups. There was many of them who came here to work with humans. Some of them for different types of purposes. Some of them were looking to boost humans spiritually and push humans in a good direction. Some of them just wanted to use humans to manipulate humans. A lot of these groups genetically, I don't know if the original type ones are still here. If they are, they would be way more advanced than they were back then. But there is genetic remnants of these type of groups. Genetically, they're still around. And they do different types of stuff. I think some of them do really good stuff. Some of them just look to, probably make a play on humans in some sort of way. But nevertheless, humans still have these genetics within them. Humans are related to it's a relationship. It's not anything necessarily negative or bad. Humans are related through blood Yeah, like we're related to the moon. Humans are related to entities throughout the cosmos, whether they know it or not. And so I think a lot of entities from around our galaxy come and they watch humans just to see how humans are evolving, and they're looking at humans to see, you know, which humans are picking up on what. So, like me and you, we're into these spiritual concepts, these esoteric subjects, and we're looking to evolve spiritually for a better purpose, to assist people to get more in touch with who we are and to evolve in that way. So I think we would naturally attract those types of people, those types of those entities revolving around those types of concepts would be the ones. So, but nevertheless, you know, like we have these ET genetics, and I think they come out in us in different ways, like the abilities that we have and stuff. You know, it's a very vague subject. Like there's different parts. You know, I have awareness on. There's other parts I'm not so aware of. But it's more, but it's a deep, you know, like in the Bible you talk about Genesis, Genesis, the genes.
The genes, Genesis, the genes. Tell me more. Yeah, I love this. Tell me whatever you want, you know, because I'm just the newcomer. So just share what's interesting to you.
Okay, from what I've learned is there was seven different types of extraterrestrials that came here overall from the beginning until now, and within those 7 different types of extraterrestrial, there was different DNAs, and there was between.
Did they just come across the Earth and happen to go, wow, here's this planet?
I think some of them did. I think some of them after humans were already here. I think some of them came and saw what was happening here, and came down. And after humans were already created by one group of extraterrestrials, I think other groups of extraterrestrials came in and started looking at humans. There's statues of like dragon people and lizard people. Then there's the statues of like the Nephilim, who look very like Nordic, like European looking. I think these were hybrids within themselves. I think again there were 7 different groups. And they were hybrids within themselves. Some of these extraterrestrials themselves, you know, had more than one DNA within them. But I think there was a situation where what you call the ancient reptilian species mixed with what a lot of people in the New Age call the Pleiadian group, and that created a Anunnaki Nephilim type. And so, when they were coming down here, they had in themselves mixed genes. And so a lot of people...
And those are the people who are the Illuminati, right?
I don't know. To be honest with you, it's so... I just know there's extraterrestrials. I don't know if they have a name for it, what they are, but I just know there's extraterrestrials who... were involved with the creation of humans. You know,
well,
like...
That's my introduction to it was the, you know, that when I found out about 9/11 being an inside job.
Right.
But then, you know, that...
I don't...
These people are so evil. These are the people who are half lizard. They don't care about humans. These Illuminati family members. I watched documentaries about these people who left their family after being brainwashed